Good morning, first English students. Now we will continue the topic. We will begin the topic transformational generative grammar. Transformational generative grammar. Transformational generative grammar is one of the most influential of modern linguistic theories, introduced through Noam Chomsky's syntactic structures in 1957. Okay, this TG grammar, that is transformational generative grammar, was introduced by Noam Chomsky, and he wrote the book in 1957, Syntactic Structure. And in that book, he introduced the topic transformational generative grammar. So, this is an improved method of PSG, phrase structure grammar. Okay. And how this is an improved method? Okay. Grammar, as far as grammar is concerned, Noam Chomsky analyzed further and he improved the study of grammar, the structure of grammar. How can the use of grammar? He improved it, and now we follow this TG grammar. And actually, browser in internet, this TG grammar is further improved, and today all should follow functional grammar. Okay, though the concept of functional grammar is not given in our textbook up to till TG grammar we stopped, but the updated knowledge is functional grammar. Okay, and actually today in India as well as in all over the world, whatever the language could be, whether it is English or Tamil or whatever it could be, the grammar is functional grammar is what followed, and there is no even TG grammar is followed. Okay, it's okay, it doesn't matter. First we will learn this transformational generative grammar. Okay, so how this is an improved method of the previous grammar, that is structural linguistics, PS grammar, ICA, and about this TG grammar is was used for a long time. Okay, and what is this? How it is an improved one? The first point. Okay, the following important points mark this approach an advancement over the earlier ones. Okay, the following 9 points make that's how by these 9 points this is this method, this grammar is an improved method. How it is? How the TG grammar is an improved one? The first point: there is a mental reality underlying linguistic behavior. Language use is a creative process, not a mere habit formation. Okay, so the principle is principle or kolgai. What is it? Language is a creative process. It is not a habit formation. Okay, so PS grammar, and especially in structural grammar, structural linguistics itself, everyone proved that language is a habit formation. Okay, so my daughter Riyappa, she also learned the Tamil language as mother tongue. It is by practice, it is by habit. Okay, that's how everything is learnt. But Noam Chomsky says that it is not learnt, it is a kind of creative process. Okay, how it is a creative process? Let's say if you want to draw, okay, there are certain procedures. If you want to make a movie, there are certain procedures. If you want to act, there are certain procedures. You know the basic idea. By that basic idea, you develop a creative one. Okay. I want to say something. Okay. Whatever I say, it is a kind of creative process. Okay. And but there are basic principles and rules. By that, for knowing the basic principles, knowing the basic structure of language, and the child produces its own sentences, its own ideas, its own thoughts. Okay. See, I like red color. Okay, this statement is made by Mr. Prasad. Nanda Sultan. I like red color. Okay, and of course, this sentence could be uttered by crores and billions of people in the ancient age. I am not the first one to say this sentence. Many people would have said before my birth, and at this moment also many people are saying that I like red color. Okay, but this statement I am not simply copying. Yes, Sam says that I like red color. Let me also say that I like red color. It's not like that. This is my personal opinion. I personally like red color. Okay, then I say the sentence as I like red color. Okay, so therefore language is a creative process. So this is the first point. I mean, I'm supposed to explain a lot, but as we don't have time, let me skip to next point. Next point is a very important point. The description of a language is primarily concerned with the speaker's knowledge of his language, that is his linguistic competence, rather than performance. Grammar is theory of a language. See, well, let's say there is in the second point we have, please open at page 200. I'm reading it and page 200 only. What is it? TG grammar is the topic. TG grammar is introduced, and I'm explaining each and every point. This is the second point. Yes, I guess definitely there is a definition of competence and performance. Competence, that is a speaker's knowledge of the language, is said to be competence. Performance is the speaker's ability to use the language. So this is the difference between competence and performance. Okay, so as far as Indian way of teaching, Indian tradition is concerned, a student's competence is tested, not his or her performance. Okay, an Indian student's in all the in school at school level, an Indian student's competence alone is tested, not his or her performance, the student's performance. Okay, so you all know definition of noun, and if a sentence is given, you know, you can underline this is noun, this is verb, and this is actually a verb. But you do not have the ability to use the language. You don't have the fluency in speaking the language, or writing the language, or reading the language. So this is a problem in our education system. So why? Because we were taught only phrase structure grammar and structural grammar and traditional grammar. So the only competence is tested, not the student's performance. Okay, so this grammar will focus more on performance. Okay, not the individual's competence. Okay, so this is a second principle. And the third principle, the grammar of a language is not mere classification of actual sentences produced by native speakers, but a system of rules and principles internalized by the native speaker from his exposure to the language. Okay, see, let me take an example of my own daughter Ria. She clearly utters words like amma, appa, tata, ata, and other words are not clearly uttered. Okay, but she can understand Tamil language clearly, whatever the sentences could be. But she is unable to use the language. She is unable to speak the language. Okay, and of course she doesn't know how to read and write also at the age of 2. Okay, but we all strongly believe that my daughter Ria can understand Tamil language clearly, but she herself doesn't know how to speak. Maybe next year at the at her third birthday, definitely she can speak fluently in Tamil. Okay, so she doesn't know the grammar. This is called a Payarchol. This is called Vinaichol. This is called Urichol. Say Vinay, say Pat Vinay. Those grammar she doesn't know. Okay, but those rules and now only she is trying to learn those rules and regulations. It is by habit she learns the rules and regulations. Unknowingly she learns the language. Let's say let's say she wants water. Okay, tanni venum. She doesn't know how to utter the word, the phrase or the sentence tanni venum. Okay, so she simply holds my finger and she simply pull me and show the bottle and water bottle, and by that all of us should understand that she wants water. Okay, and then when I say tanni venuma, when I ask this question, she simply nods her head. Okay, so she understands my question, tanni venuma. Okay, and but she ama enakku venum. She is unable to utter this sentence. Okay, but she understands my question. Okay, so native speakers from their childhood days, when they were babies, they learn the rules and regulations of the language internally. Unknowingly, they learn the rules and regulations. Okay, so after unknowingly learning the rules and regulations, they themselves produce their own sentences. Okay, so the rules and regulations are internalized unknowingly. Okay, and when they happen to use the language often, naturally they use the language. Okay, that's how the native speakers are able to use the language perfectly. They unknowingly learn the rules and regulations, and then they are able to they are creatively able to use the language. Okay, because they have the exposure to use the language often. Okay, so in my house we communicate in Tamil language, and naturally my daughter will learn Tamil language quickly. Okay, so the grammar is rules and regulations. It's not like habit formation. They unknowingly know. Okay, naalaki pogalam. So that means tomorrow. The meaning of the word, the grammar. Neti dam paatha. Okay, so that means past tense. So though I will not teach that this is called as kadanda kalam, past tense, I am not going to teach my daughter, but she unknowingly learned that this is how we have to use the sentence. Okay, so Native speakers internalize the rules and regulations of the language. And fourth point, any speaker of a language can produce and comprehend novel utterances created out of principles and rules internalized by him. So this is the extension of the third point. By learning the basic, by comprehending the rules and regulations unknowingly, any speaker, any native speaker can creatively express his thoughts through the language. Okay, so by unknowingly learning the rules and regulations, the native speaker is able to speak. It's not like habit formation, and unknowingly through habit formation they learn the rules and regulations, and by that they creatively use the language. ஒருத்த வந்து தாய்மொழி எப்படி கத்துக்கிறான் அப்படின்னா, அது ஒவ்வொரு தாய்மொழியிலையும் இருக்கக்கூடிய கிராமட்டிக்கல் ரூல்ஸ் அண்ட் ரெகுலேஷன்ஸ் அவனுக்கு தெரியாமையே ஹேபிட் ஃபார்மேஷன்ல கத்துக்கிறான். ஆனா அவன் பேசுற வார்த்தைகள், அவனுடைய சிந்தனைகள், அது எல்லாமே கிரியேட்டிவா பண்றது. ஏன்னா ஒவ்வொருத்தனுக்கும் நிறைய உணர்வுகள் இருக்கும், நிறைய சிந்தனைகள் இருக்கும். ஓகே, அண்ட் அதெல்லாம் காப்பி அடிச்சதா எடுத்துக்க முடியாது. ரூல்ஸ் அண்ட் ரெகுலேஷன்ஸை தான் அவன் வந்து காப்பி அடிச்சு கத்துக்கிட்டான், ஹேபிட் ஃபார்மேஷன்ல கத்துக்கிட்டான். ஓகே, ஆனா அவ சொல்றது, என்னுடைய பொண்ணு வந்து இப்ப தமிழ்ல வந்து இப்ப எனக்கு இந்த ட்ரெஸ் தான் வேணும், எனக்கு நூடுல்ஸ் தான் வேணும், எனக்கு இட்லி தான் வேணும் அப்படின்னு சொல்றது எல்லாமே அவளுடைய கிரியேட்டிவிட்டி, அவளுடைய சொந்த சிந்தனைகள். ஸோ லாங்குவேஜ் பேசுறது அப்படின்னா சொந்த சிந்தனைகள். ஸோ முன்னாடி முன்னோர்கள் எப்படி பயன்படுத்தினாங்களோ அதே மாதிரி பயன்படுத்தினாங்க அப்படின்ற மாதிரி வராது. ஓகே, ஸோ ஃபிஃப்த் பாயிண்ட், a grammar is an infinite set of rules which generates and describes an infinite number of all and only possible sentences in a language. This structure is aimed at explaining the actual utterances produced. TG grammar aimed at predicting potential sentences of a language as well. See, there are infinite number of sentences could be uttered, but there are finite set of rules. There are only a finite set of rules, and using the finite set of rules, we can utter infinite number of sentences. Okay, and see, in a language, this is the limited number of sentences. Likewise, we cannot say billions and billions of sentences could be uttered in our own creative way. Okay, so but structural linguistics says this is the limited number of sentences. So beyond that, there are no structures. Likewise, they say, but it is not like that. That is what they say. That is TG grammarians say. It is predicting. Okay, see, I am a teacher. By that, we can predict if at the LKG level you are taught that I am a teacher. By that, you yourself can frame many sentences. I am a teacher, I am a student, I am a doctor, I am an engineer, I am a man, I am a woman. Likewise, many sentences, millions of sentences can be produced. Okay, it's not like okay, I am a teacher, I am a doctor, I am an engineer, I am a lawyer. Okay, that's all. That's all the profession. That's all about sentence. Likewise, it cannot be. Okay, I am an intelligent man, I am a foolish man, and I am a cunning man. Likewise, billions of sentences can be produced. Okay, I am a. By that, we can change the word and produce sentences. By that way, our meaning could be changed. Okay, I am a teacher. I was a student. Okay, by that structure, by that syntax, we can learn the language. I am a teacher. In 2012, I was a student of Pope John Paul II College of Education. Okay, before 9 years, I was a student. Now I am a teacher. Okay, so I am a teacher. By that, you yourself can frame sentence. The meaning is completely opposite. I am a teacher, I was a student. Completely opposite. But the structure is somewhat similar. Okay, as you learn the structure, you yourself can use the language. Okay, so this is the principle of TG grammar. So it is predicting the sentence. Using the structure, we can predict the sentences. Okay, and the sixth point, grammar is generative in the sense that the output, the unlimited number of potential utterances is not the same as the input. The limited number of utterances to which native speaker is exposed. The output is generated making use of the system of rules abstracted from the input. The transformational rules explain the relationship between sentence type and the parts of sentences. Hence, the model is called as transformational generative. See, the topic is itself is transformational generative. That is, you should have the ability to transfer the sentences, and as well as you should have the ability to generate the sentences. Okay, so the same could be the same sentences the same sentence could be transferred. Okay, see, I write a letter. A letter is written by me. It's active and passive voice. I wrote a letter. I will write a letter. That's how. See, I write a letter. A letter is written by me. These two sentences convey the same meaning, but one is in active voice, the other one is passive voice. Okay, there is no change in meaning of these two sentences. But I wrote a letter, I will write a letter, I write a letter. The structure is somewhat similar. They have similar structures, but they convey different meanings. The change is in the tense. Okay, the change is in the time when this action is done. So it is done in past tense, it is done in present tense, and this will be done in future tense. Okay, so active voice, passive voice, direct and indirect speech, degrees of comparison, simple, compound, complex sentences. As we transform the sentences, yes, without changing the meaning, the structure of the sentence is completely changed. Okay, so by transforming sentences, the student should be able to generate sentences. It is after practicing these kinds of transformational exercises, the student is able to generate his own sentences. Okay, so the main purpose of TG grammar, transformational generative grammar, is transform the sentence from one structure to another structure, one structure to another structure, and then generate it. The student himself will be able to produce sentences. Okay, so this is the main idea. So there are limited number of structures: active and passive voice, direct and indirect speech, simple, compound, complex, degrees of comparison. So there are limited number of sentences. By that, we are able to generate sentences. Okay, so that is the topic significant. That is, the student should be able to generate sentences. Okay, seventh point, the distinction between surface structure, that is the structure of actual utterances, and deep structure. Okay, so the seventh point is surface structure and deep structure. Surface structure, the surface level of meaning, and the deep structure, deep level of meaning, the emotional meaning, everything is conveyed in deep structure. Those things also should be discussed, which PSG, phrase structure grammar, data simply ignored. The inner meaning, the depth meaning, the emotional meaning, that is completely ignored. And the example given in the third point is John is easy to please. John is eager to please. Both have similar structures, but their meaning is completely different, which PS grammar completely ignored it. See, in the first sentence, John is easy to please. Anyone can satisfy John. Anyone can easily satisfy John. That is the meaning of the first sentence. John is easy to please. In the second sentence, John is eager to please. John is waiting to make someone happy. John is eager to make someone happy. That is the meaning of second sentence. But when we do it, okay, subject, noun phrase, verb phrase. When we draw tree diagram as per PS grammar, phrase structure grammar, everything is same, but the meaning is completely different. So let's say the deep structure, the deeper meaning of these two sentences are completely ignored. Okay, those things are also considered in TG grammar. Okay, let me skip to eighth point. See, TG grammar comprises syntactic, semantic, and phonological. Everything is considered in TG grammar. Okay, everything is considered. Syntactic, that is, syntax is considered, semantic, phonological, pronunciation, and the structure of words, past tense, and singular, plural, and morpheme, everything is considered in TG grammar. Okay, but structure grammar simply ignored everything. Okay, so the ninth point, structural grammar was taxonomical, describing, classifying observed data alone with rigorous discovery procedures for discovering linguistic units. A TG theory, on the other hand, makes use of evaluation procedure to evaluate alternative grammar for the same language and select the best capable of explaining existing data and also predicting potential data. So most important disadvantage in the ninth point I am explaining, that is most important disadvantage in structured grammar is that we have to follow the rules and regulations, we cannot change it. Likewise they say, but TG grammar say, according to time and age, we can change the language. We have to change the language. Okay, when we invent television, we have to coin or invent the word telecast. When they invented radio, naturally we have to invent the word broadcast. Okay, internet. Likewise, we have to use the word. We have to accordingly we have to change the grammar also. Okay, so therefore languages tend to change, then only the language is developed, and by that by TG grammar the student, an individual, is able to say, no, this is the sentence that you uttered has a grammar mistake. There is a mistake in your grammatically. There is a mistake in your sentence. Likewise, a student or individual will know only if he or she learns language through transformational and generative grammar. Okay, so when we learn TG grammar, an individual is able to say that yes, sir, he is able to evaluate a sentence. Yes, sir, this is grammatically a correct sentence. No, this is grammatically a wrong sentence. Likewise, yes, the student is able to evaluate a sentence. But such kind of evaluation is not done when we have PS grammar or structural grammar. They simply blindly followed the grammar structure. Okay, so overall, let's say the most important idea in TG grammar is that the student should be able to transfer the sentence as active voice or passive voice, or that is transformation. He should be able to transform a sentence. As a student is able to transform the sentence, he is able to generate his own sentences. So that is what called as TG grammar, that is transformational and generative grammar. So students, please read the textbook and follow the video, and so that you can understand. Okay, so the principles of TG grammar is over, and the next topic, transformational generator, how sentences are generated in TG grammar. Okay, That topic we'll discuss in next video. Thank you.